If you've been thinking about opening a recovery residence in Arkansas, this video is for you. Quick word on who we are. The National Alliance for Recovery Residences, NARR, is the national organization that establishes the standard for recovery residences. The organization was founded in 2011. The Arkansas Alliance of Recovery Residences, AARR, is the Arkansas affiliate. Founded in 2024, we are responsible for certifying Arkansas recovery residences against the national standard. Think of it this way. NARR writes the rulebook. We make sure Arkansas houses are following it. I want to start with something honest. If you're considering this work, it's probably because you have been touched by addiction. Maybe you are in recovery yourself. Maybe you lost someone. Maybe you watched someone you love work their way back from addiction, and now you want to build the kind of place that would have helped them. That motivation is the right reason to be here. Opening a recovery residence is one of the most meaningful things a person can do. It is also hard. It takes more money, time, patience, and paperwork than most people expect. So before you spend a single dollar, and especially before you sign a contract with anyone offering to help you, I need you to hear me on a few things. Here is the first thing. Our organization has recently learned that some consultants in this state are charging Arkansas residents $5,000, as much as $10,000 or more, to help them through recovery resident certification. This is not necessary. We provide all certification guidance, all the templates you need, and ongoing technical assistance at no cost. Free, always. This is our responsibility. If someone has approached you offering to walk you through certification for a significant fee, please contact us before you pay them anything. Our guidance is free. Now let me tell you what it actually costs to get one certified recovery residence up and running in Arkansas. The honest numbers. Filing your nonprofit articles with the Arkansas Secretary of State, $50. The IRS 501c3 application, $275. Our application fee, $150. Our organizational credentialing fee, $300. Our per residence certification fee, $200 per house. And commercial general liability insurance, typically $1,000 to $2,500 a year for a small level 2 operation. Add it up, roughly $2,000 to $3,500 to get one certified house up and running. Property costs, rent, mortgage, furnishings are separate and depend on your model. That's the real number. Anyone telling you it costs $10,000 in fees is selling you something. Okay, now the harder conversation. The question is not whether recovery residences are needed in Arkansas. They are. The question is whether you are in a position, right now, to run one well. Use these 3 categories for self-assessment: personal readiness, practical readiness, community readiness. Be honest with yourself about your skills and abilities. Operating a recovery residence is not easy. Personal readiness. If you are in recovery yourself, how long has it been? We recommend at least 2 years of sustained personal recovery before taking on the emotional and ethical weight of leading a residence. That's not a hard rule, but it's a real one. Operators who are still early in their own recovery often struggle when residents go through crises. Do you have a support system outside of the people you'll be serving? Operators who lean on residents for their own emotional support struggle, and residents suffer. And this is direct. Are you willing to call 911, file incident reports, ask someone to leave, and have hard conversations with neighbors? These are not rare events. They are part of the job. Practical readiness. Do you have 10 to 20 hours a week for the next 6 to 12 months to spend on setup? That's paperwork, board meetings, property work, policy drafting. It's a lot. Do you have or can you raise $3,000 to $5,000 in startup capital, not counting rent and furnishings? Certification fees alone won't get a house open. Do you have a second income or a savings cushion? Many small recovery residences in Arkansas operate at or near break-even in their first 2 years. This is rarely a fast path to financial sustainability. And do you have someone with basic bookkeeping skills on your team, or can you hire that out? Both grant funders and the IRS will require it. Community readiness. Have you talked to your local drug court, probation office, and peer recovery organizations about whether there's actual demand in your area for the level of housing you want to offer? Don't guess. Ask. Have you looked at zoning in the neighborhood where you want to operate? This stops more recovery residences than almost any other single issue. We'll cover this in part 2. And do you have at least one other person besides yourself who is committed to this mission and can help carry the load? One more thing before we wrap. NARR recognizes 4 levels of recovery housing. Each has different staffing, cost, and regulatory requirements. Level 1 is peer-run. The residents themselves govern the home. There are no paid staff inside the residence. The Oxford House model is the most familiar example. Level 2 is monitored. There's a house manager or senior peer, structured rules, moderate staffing and cost. This is where most new Arkansas operators start, and it's where most of the funding pipelines align. Level 3 is supervised. Paid staff, organizational hierarchy, case management. Higher cost. Level 4 is service provider level. Licensed clinical services delivered inside the residence. Highest regulatory and cost profile. Most new Arkansas operators start at level 2. It's the most common, the most practical, and the model the funding streams are built around. Now that you understand what a recovery residence is, what it actually costs, and what we look for in personal, practical, and community readiness, the next thing to do is watch part 2 of this video. In part 2, I'll walk you through the readiness checklist, the specific conditions you need to have in place before you formally apply, and then the 10 formal steps of certification, from your first inquiry to your final certificate. If you have questions, you can email us at info@narrarkansas.org. Our guidance is free, always. Our organization was built for the person making minimum wage who took out a loan because they wanted to help their community. We built it for the ministry operating out of faith rather than expertise. We built it for the family member who has more heart than spreadsheets. You don't need a consultant. You need this, some patience, and our support and guidance on the other end of the phone. Watch part 2 next. We'll see you there.